pushing machine. For what people stay, they sway. For today is good as any day. Y'all feel slightly this, let's resist. Raise your fist and pump like this. Promises all the time. Don't cross the line, and you know it's mine. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll.
Are they one of our sponsors? Product placement?
No.
So I'm hiding this. You don't know what kind of coffee I'm drinking. You never know. Who do you want to drink coffee with?
Who you wanna roll with? Let's see. Let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Let's see. Let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? 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 Who you wanna roll with?
Hoy, we are here at the Bamboo Hut, at the consumption area of the Manhattan. The Manhattan.
Yeah.
I smoke too much weed. It makes my words not come out good. Prime.
What's that noise?
I don't know.
Why? Stop.
Why do you have ads playing during the cast?
Stop it.
You're in control here.
Oh my goodness. No, I'm obviously not.
Yeah, and that's a problem. Because you're the one controlling the computer. So, good afternoon, everyone. Tuesday. This day just got shifted once I left for here. So I'm still reeling, still thrown off a bit. But we're here. We're doing our thing. Get the dab bar set up with the home grow sign and whatnot.
Whoop, whoop.
And we are dealing with constant changing everyday news of this fluctuating downward market that we are experiencing. When do you think it'll stop? I've heard they're talking about some of these tariffs being permanent. How permanent can a tariff be unless we're just I don't think that's the appropriate word to use for a tariff.
We're in for the long haul.
I'm not down with. I'm just so over it already, and I realize we're so far away from the end, but it's just so fucking chaotic, and it's just like, oh, wasn't it chaotic enough for you? How about we plunge the whole world into chaos? That'd be good. That'd spice things up a bit.
I can't afford eggs as it is. Now it's going to get worse. Oh boy.
That's the only solace for me is that having the surgery I had, I eat far less food than a lot of people. So that's just a manageable situation for me. Just find a more manageable meal and something more compact. That could be interesting. I'll just start changing up my grocery store, but all around that, it's just everywhere. I just don't like hearing about it. I don't like hearing about these crazy price increase. They're talking about another $1,500 for an iPhone, which serves you right if you're still going for an iPhone. I'm looking at you.
Would you like a dab, sir?
Yes. I need a dab.
You shall have one.
I was hoping Ian was going to be ready to film this episode today, and
Yeah, what's going on?
I don't know. He's been dealing with health. He's been dealing with his own stuff. So that's I give that. But I want to get you guys on the show here and feature this wonderful dispensary outside of here. But People got stuff going on in their lives. They got
They do.
yeah, especially the manager of a dispensary. Absolutely. Um, most people, I can't play devil's advocate. What do you want me to do? Hold this?
Just hit it.
Okay.
Just hit it. Just hit that sucker. Oh, there you go. There you go. Get a good one. Get a good one. Oh my. All right, that's
You
enough.
just stop dirty talking me while I'm taking hits.
Inappropriate bell.
No, but I definitely fail to play devil's advocate to most people's cancellations and shit like that. Like it's tough for me because when I personally, when I make plans, I'd stick to them and I do what I need to make sure I stick to them, unless it literally would put me out of a job or something like that. But but I just can't. I can't hear it most of the time. It's like, oh, I'm tired. Well, if you thought you were going to be tired, if there's a possibility of that, then you should have let me know, or not plan this for then. It's just, and it'd be one thing if everyone didn't always have an excuse. It's never just they follow through with like no issue. There's more often than not nonsense excuses and just reasons that I'm left to meant to understand and just be like, okay, I'm gonna go sit in my corner and color.
So our strain review for today, one of our strain reviews is Purple Tie
Purple Tie.
from The Botanist.
What was that? Indica?
Sativa.
Really? Interesting. Purple Tie. Yeah, I do see tuxedo when you see like tuxedo strains or like anything that with that kind of like glam kind of name to it. You definitely see them leaning more sativa. Oh, Bear's here. What's up, Bear?
What up? Hey, Lefty.
Hey.
They need to get this place heated up.
Lefty. You hear me?
He's still setting things up.
Go ahead. Yes,
Oh.
I hear you.
Okay. In about an hour, 7, and tomorrow 5, and next week 4. Count it up.
Okay.
Jim's here.
Oh yeah.
What's
Hey, Jim.
up, Bear?
How you doing, brother?
What's up, everybody? Yeah.
Flat top.
We're doing
Yeah,
a
I was
strain
thinking of
Stay,
was gonna put-
sativa.
I was going to add something below Jim Miller, because like people come in, and they might not know, anything about me, and I figure I should put something, and that's why I'm a couple minutes late. I couldn't figure out what the fuck I would put. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I swear already? A minute in? I gotta. have
Not even a
something
minute
smart.
in, and you're here. Wait,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
there you go. See, I wasn't sure if that was still a bad word because
What?
The F word.
Fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
See,
No.
here's Cheryl. Never. Sometimes I overuse it occasionally if I was angry, and I was angry a lot. Because of her and medical cannabis not doing what it could because it's illegal, and it would be like I'd say something like, "Oh man, that's a fucking joke," and Cheryl look at me and go, "Is that the same as that's a joke?"
But it boils down.
that she wouldn't ask me not to swear. She
But it
would
always boils
simply
down
say that.
in my mind to like it's just a word. Like I think
Well,
about
yeah.
it, and I think
well,
about
it
it, and I
is.
always boil back to like the delineate, like what the word means, or
No, yeah, but it only means what the other person you're talking to thinks it means. So, what I'm saying? What it means to me isn't how I should project myself. It's what does it mean to the people I'm around at that time? And obviously, as you would do anyway, proper surroundings, like in a court of law, I wouldn't just say it.
I definitely see that point. Like I could just
But
say,
here's my point. Here's my point. I think I posted earlier, and I don't post stuff just out of nowhere a lot on my Facebook page, but it was like you don't have to argue with a person about something to be advocating him. You just have to deal with him in a way that he thinks it's his idea. In other words, you come to a conclusion together, or he thinks it's his idea. And I think that was actually the lowest common denominator for him that Cheryl naturally had instincts for, where she would just ask a question that's almost rhetorical in nature and skips all the stuff in between. Like, Jim, why do you have to say it like that? But what she was saying is it loses, not don't swear, it loses its value if you use it all the time. You're right. If you use it like that, it isn't really a bad word. It has no anger in it, you know? And it's, so yeah, I remember that sometimes now because, you know, that's why I try doing. I remember I got my new word, Lefty. You should have hopped in and said, but Jim, you took care of that. And now I just say thunderfuck. Man, he got thunderfucked.
That's extreme. I always, but I always go back to though. Like I think of the origin of the word, and when I hear people say things like that, like oh, why you use those words? It's just a word. Like I remember back when I was in high school, and that commercial was going around that said like when you say that's gay, that's hurtful, and you should stop it. And I just like everyone around me, we looked at it, and we were just like, that was really gay. That was really gay because at the end of the day, it's what you mean the word to be. And there used to be a point where people would say, well, what do you mean by that? And try to clarify before they jump down your throat. Now it's all up to their interpretation. Like
that's just what I said, though. It's the perception it creates. You're like 100% stamping your approval on exactly what I said.
No, but no, what I'm saying is that that's a problem, that it can't be what the other person thinks. They have to ask, what do you mean? What I have a headphone and I'm not listening. Like, why are you asking me to catch cars with joints in them while I'm trying to have a conversation?
Well,
like
get used to it.
Perfect example right here. I could say to Lefty, you're a fucking cocksucker, and it doesn't mean he sucks dick. No, that means he's being annoying and playing with cars while I'm trying to have a conversation and be like, no, put the car.
Let me put it to you a simple way that people can understand, and maybe you'll agree that it's an easy way to go about it. I say that, like, if you're meeting somebody that doesn't speak your language at all, and you don't speak theirs, you can smile, offer a handshake, which he'll probably know what that is, and tell him to fuck himself and his mother also, or something, you know? And he'll be smiling right back because he didn't take it that way. You know what I mean? You're saying it's the intent. You know, so the fact that it is just a word, it's a meaning. So to me, I resent that every time somebody says, say, the F-bomb or the F word, in my head, I'm thinking, oh, fuck. You know, I mean, if you take that shortcut, you shouldn't even say that because it gets people to know exactly what the word is without saying it. Now it's in your head. Isn't that it is that ridiculous. So what I'm saying is, I couldn't agree with you more about it being just a word. And
there's a lovely sign in my apartment near my streaming center, and it simply says, "Stop fucking cursing."
Yeah. Well, okay. Murray Langston was the first one I saw on HBO way long ago, about 77, 78. Yeah, 78. And I never heard swearing on TV, you know. I mean, I never heard it. So the first time I watched, he was the unknown comic at the time. He had a paper bag over his head with two eyes cut out and a mouth. He's the unknown comic. You don't remember him? Oh,
no.
Okay. He was big for a little while. So he took the bag off to be on the first one of a comedy special or thing, you know, and it was like a brand new thing. So we gather around, you know. And he got up and he said something about talking about the first time he was on. And he said something, I don't give a fuck. Oh, shit, I said fuck. Oh, fuck, I said shit. And he got all confused. But it was, when George Carlin really making his mark with the 7 dirty words, among other things, you know. So, and that in Canada and England, they have different standards for what you can say, you know.
Well, in a way, we do too. Like even before nowadays, but I mean, like in a way, like in prior administrations, like or even like every other administration, like it was exactly like the gold standard is don't say you're going to kill the president. That would be like the one that usually got people in trouble the most. But yeah,
or there's a bomb.
just there was a delineation of things, and granted, a lot of those were justifiable, and again, we're in different waters today, much different waters. But yeah, it's just words, and it's crazy. It's crazy when I think about it, how some words have delineated to the point that they have, or have just gotten such overuse or misunderstanding or
and then
disregard.
There's another phenomenal words I suppose now that I'm an old guy I have less respect for is new words, not so much, but new ways of saying things. Like I don't like pre-owned. Because the prefix pre-owned is a brand new car. It hasn't had an owner yet. You're the first owner. So before you owned it, it was pre-owned. But when I'm seeing directions like pre-drill a hole, and I'm like, I got a drill bit and a piece of wood. That's a pre-drilled hole. It's before the hole's drilled. I mean, you can't pre-drill a hole. It's you drill it. You just don't freaking use it. Anyway,
right.
Yeah, there's just I mean, I don't know. It doesn't bother me a whole lot, but words. I've always liked. I grew up with a huge respect. I love to read. When I was in 4th grade and 5th grade, I read like more than any kid should, and now I enjoy using them to deal with legislators for other people. I'll tell you though, on that track, though, Susan with writing her letters to her senator Moriarty, and actually I write them for her and she just sends them out. But this time, this is awesome. She's really going to have some fun because he's been sort of checkmated, and his email trail is going to be public, and everybody can read how she set a trap over 2 years, and now he's in it, and now called up to talk to her, and she won't take the call without recording it, and he knows it because it was in the last letter. It's kind of fun anyway. But actually, that's more germane to what this show is generally about.
Hello, who's this?
It's Ron Grandy.
Hey, Ron Grandy, how are you?
All right, Ed, how you doing, buddy?
Good, man. Jim, can you hear Ron?
Yeah.
Awesome. Ron, welcome to our podcast. We're happy to have you on. You have a story, man. You first of all, you're a disabled vet. Thank you for your service. And
thank you.
What is going on down in South Jersey with you? They're pulling some crap with you, aren't they?
Oh, let's hear this.
Yeah. On November 1st, they raided my house. They said that they've been watching me for a year and a half since I worked with Gary Bozzini. And now they took my truck. I've been homeless for since November. I just found a room, and they're saying that I took the money from drug sales to buy my truck, which is untrue because it was a lawsuit and I have the proof. And they're saying that they won't give me my truck back. And I can't get, I have doctor's appointments. I have cancer doctor, my bone doctor for my bones, my knees, and my your urologist. I can't get to any of them. And I'm really upset about it. And they said that it was I sold some bud to a informant, CI or something, and they said that I sold him weed in Cumberland County and weed in Gloucester County. Well, I know of one person that I've ever done that for. So, I mean, I don't know what else to do.
All right, so let me start this off by saying, first, my friend, thank you so much for your service. I very much appreciate
you.
that. It goes just too much without being said nowadays. Second
Absolutely.
of all, I'm gonna take issue with this. This is really pissing me off. If we're gonna really be tracking people down and taking their cars based on whatever assumption, I'd like to see them go after the people in Rumson and everyone else who buys their car with drug money. And you're really gonna do this to a vet? Are you serious? Are you serious? With that vet that's homeless?
Well, it's more. Of course, it's agreed. Nobody's gonna like it. What can be done is like
But that's the thing. That kind of attitude. That gets nowhere. Just what can you do? That's how things stay stagnant, stay the same. But that's besides the point. Like,
no, I'm not saying what can you do. Like throwing my shoulders up. I'm asking a freaking question. What can be done? What is to be done? Not oh, woe is me. It's like we could all.
Go ahead, Ron.
Okay. Being a veteran, I smoked a lot. So now I can't really smoke that much. So at my house, I was making my own honey, so I could ingest it because my lungs aren't that great. So when I would go to like little events, something like that, like, well, I use the example when I went to Hippie Fest. I would take some jars of my honey, little jars, and put it on the front desk, or you would pay to get in. If anybody wanted it, take it. If they want to leave a donation, that was fine. And all donations that were given to me went to making more honey, and I actually had dinner on Veterans Day for 3 or 4 veterans that are in their 80s and 90s that I couldn't even do that this year because I have no vehicle and no way to get anywhere. So either I'm gonna die here or I'm gonna die in prison. One and two. It's like if you can't get to your doctor's appointment, I personally I think it's a fucking lawsuit against the state.
I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you right there. That's 100% a lawsuit. They're taking away, first of all, they're taking away your vehicle. I don't think I've ever heard of a case outside of like a legitimate drug dealer who's dealing like dangerous substances of someone's car being repoed based on what they assume that they bought the car with. And yeah, they're taking away all your options to get what you need to. And
they said that since I was taking, like, I would take the honey and give it to people. You know, like I know there's a gifting. You're allowed to gift so much, but they said since I took it from my house and brought it to somewhere else, now I'm distributing.
Well, you know what? That's the other thing too. Is that okay? So you took it and brought it somewhere else. What does that mean? Raid and break into the house? There's no weighing anymore with this stuff, and it's even gotten worse since January. Of just they look for such little irrational reasoning to do so much damage to people's lives.
Absolutely,
and it's very disappointing to see that's happening in New Jersey like this.
They ruined my life. I mean, I'm being honest.
When did this happen? I need a time frame. I feel like I'm really on the outside of this. I'm not getting it. How long ago did this happen?
On November 1st of last year.
Yeah, I mean, when did they take the truck right from the beginning? Like, I mean, it used to be they would impound something with a certain amount of product, and they would never return it. Then that it was forfeiture laws. But
they asked me if I had anything in my truck.
Yeah,
and I said yes. I have a little, like it was like a half ounce or something. that I keep for me, in case I want something. And he said, okay, we're going to impound your truck. So I went to Frankenville Police Station. They had actually taken my phone too. They took my phone. They shut down my Cash App. They actually took my Chime card that I used to build my credit. And they said it would be a couple of weeks. So I went and got my phone a week later, and I asked him. I said, the detective that took it. I said, when can I get my truck back? He said, don't worry about it. We're not going to keep your truck. We only need it for a couple more weeks for investigation. I said, fine. Here it is, 4 months, 5 months later, I still don't have it. And now they sent me a thing for a court, a court thing, and it says the state of New Jersey versus a 2017 Dodge Ram. And I don't understand it. I really don't.
Wait,
Somebody,
the court docket literally says the state of New Jersey versus a truck.
Yes.
That's forfeiture.
Do you have a lawyer? Do you have a lawyer?
No, I can't afford them. And I tried calling like 10 or 15 of them, see if they do, what's that? I forget what it's called.
Pro bono?
Yeah, pro bono.
Yeah, pro bono. And none of them done it.
No one at the VA?
So,
Did you try anyone at the VA?
Yeah, they don't do it either. That's right.
No, they'll steer you to a public defender, which is never your best move, but it's never. It's.
I have a public defender.
Somebody that knows somebody.
When they raided the house, it's two separate things. One's the raid of the house, and one is the truck.
I'm looking at more like what can we do than, I could pound my fist all I want. It's not going to help you out. It's the little that I'm understanding now. It seems like there are lawyers that could understand what you're saying with way less questions than any of us are going to know what to ask as far as legal ramifications are. Like a lawyer would have already asked you 3 or 4 easy questions and corralled this into a zone that would be digestible. Yeah, there are lawyers that I think maybe we could get to talk to you. Need to make sure. I mean,
that'd be fine.
Yeah, make sure that Lefty has your contact, and we could try to do that now. But basically, this is also one of the few things Facebook is good for, is to have a very good short version, like who took it and where, what kind of stop was it, what was all the things, and people, well, did you try this lawyer? Did you try that lawyer? Which, gives you other people a call you might not think of by yourself. But before it goes any further, somebody has some idea about what is and isn't legal. Because I know we can all be surprised by, you're telling me that's legal? And a lawyer could say, yeah, unfortunately, the way it occurred or whatever. But this needs better brains than you got right here, and we're pretty smart. It's just that, but definitely you shouldn't be sitting there alone without nothing to do on this. And this is really hopefully what we can do to get something started, at least.
I think.
I say this: it's a shame what they do to veterans.
It's a damn shame. It really is sickening. It is, honestly.
It's really, yeah. And here I am, though, just a little guy trying to make honey for myself. And they said that I had a manufacturing facility.
Yeah, that's just plain.
All I had was a magic butter machine and a decarb machine.
Yeah.
That's all I had.
That's such
when you mentioned the hippie fest thing, you mean the hippie tribe things that
Yeah.
Do I know you by any chance, or if I could see you, you know, because yeah, I did acquire some good honey through my travels there. I've always been a big fan of honey, and that's where I was
Right.
that's where I was introduced to it.
You
And
know that usually by Bruce.
yeah, yeah. Now I suck with names and all, but yeah. I mean, I was there maybe every 10 days, every other week or something like that.
I never sold myself. Never sold anything.
One thing
I would give it to people.
Yeah.
But and the only money I ever made was the donations to make more.
and
Because when the cops raided the house, they asked me where all my money was.
Jeez.
I said, I don't have no money. He said, how much you got on there? I said, I had $24. He said, yeah, I don't have millions of dollars, you know, or thousands.
Yeah.
If I did, I would have a lawyer by now.
One thing I think you could do, at least as an action, I mean, I think the response time on this definitely varies, but I would craft a letter to the Attorney General about what you're dealing with right now. There's definitely a certain category that you would put this under, but I dealt with obviously nothing of what the nature of what you're dealing with, but I had to write a letter to the Attorney General recently for something, and I noticed a response quickly within a couple weeks. I think honestly, if you state your case in that letter and state that you're a veteran, that you realize the complications of the honey and the issue with it, but at the same time, you also see that cannabis is legal in the state of New Jersey and that the reaction is nowhere near proportionate to what should have happened.
Now, with that being said, I have a medical marijuana card,
right,
which I am what they call unlimited. I can go to the dispensary and get a pound if I want.
right.
Like to go to the dispensary, I'd be broke.
Yes,
I couldn't do it.
It's the sad nature of this and how it's evolved, and I don't agree with it. I definitely think you should be able to make your own honey. Don't get me wrong. I laid that out that way just so it appeals better to them.
They did say that. They said I could do what I want in my house. As soon as I walked outside, now I'm distributing.
Yeah.
And they said since I was I'm so many feet from a school or something, it don't matter what I do in my house. It's legal. You can do what you want. But as soon as you walk out of your house, now I'm distributing in a school zone. I'm doing all this crazy shit.
And again, them using the word distributing, manufacturing, all that. That's like someone saying I have a bakery operation and I don't have an easy bake oven and like a couple of bags. Like that's not what that is. So I definitely think you definitely have a lawsuit here, and you definitely have a lot of colorful words to use that with backing and legitimacy in the letter you could write.
That's what I'm not good with. I'm not good with writing. Do you guys know anybody that can?
If you, I'll tell you this much right now. If you, what was it? When you get, I don't want to give it out live on the air, but when you talk to Lefty later, he'll give you my contact information, and all you'd have to do for me is just type up, the story of how it happened and what you're dealing with right now, and I can merge that into a letter for you. Absolutely.
Okay. Sounds good.
Anything I can do to help, man. I wish I could do more. It's
ridiculous.
heartbreaking hearing what you're dealing with right now, honestly, because
we need to get a lawyer. We need to get a lawyer involved. Is what we need to do. I mean,
yes, absolutely, without a doubt.
Number one, and we work downward from that. It's all about that.
Yes.
And I'll be left to their coalition meetings tonight as well at 7. I don't know if you're gonna tune in. I know sometimes you forget. Second Tuesday. I'll bring that up there. As much as I know, but I'm still a little confused. It's and it's me. When I say I'm confused, I don't mean you haven't laid it out properly. I mean, I'm doing an about face from other things to be here, and it was like they're totally different next to the woods, and I'm not assimilating quite properly. And it's actually for lack of having cannabis, I'm rolling one now so I can ease on into my understanding. But
It's,
yeah, it's the charge itself was about having. Was it for a sale with a confidential informant, or was it that you had too much of something?
This is what they said.
Yeah.
They said in Cumberland County, I sold an informant 2 ounces. I sold an informant in Gloucester County 8 ounces, which I never carried 8 ounces at a time.
Yeah.
In my vehicle at all.
Definitely
So,
seems like something that you just should take a photo of.
Yeah, there's only one person that I actually sold weed to in Vineland, and then went to a Wawa in Malaga, which is Gloucester County, and sold 2 ounces there. So, as far as Gloucester County, I know who the guy is. But
well,
I was distributing my honey. This is what I told him. I said, I make my own honey. I made my own can of sugar and barbecue sauce. Things that I like. Now, the honey, a lot of people liked it for like PTSD and different things. So I would give it to them. And they would say, how much? I said, well, you just give me a donation. I would have a can. They put it in a donation. And then when I was done the honey, I took the money out and bought more honey and a little more trim and make more honey.
Yeah, maybe it's hard for people to understand that there are people that actually do stuff like that. And when I went to the hippie tribe things, I was given stuff regularly.
Right.
Because a lot of people there kind of knew a little about me, and were very generous in their appreciation of things in my past history.
Right. Yeah.
So I will say that nobody's going to understand that who's on the other side of this, because it's not normal for people to give that freely to other people, but it is, especially one in the cannabis community, a lot. I'm not talking about the green rush merchants. I'm talking about people who are consumers, and especially two things, especially if it's a patient and especially if it's a veteran. So if it's a veteran who is a patient, you'd expect that person to really understand and be the stand-up guy that you can be when you can help somebody, and
I mean,
but the law is the law, and it's the most sure thing direction I would like to be able to help with is seeing if there is a lawyer or two or so that would at least upon my request have a conversation with you, and if it's like, well, I can't do pro bono work, it's sort of like, yeah, but can you do crowdfund work? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
right.
It's a road that needs to get started sooner rather than later when any kind of dates are coming up, and maybe it can help, but maybe it can, So
I've been waiting for a court date. I was at court twice already, and then they postponed it.
Yeah, they do that a lot. That's standard procedure with them. It seems like keep postponing.
Yeah, but now I'm still waiting to find out when the next court date is. Like, I don't know.
Well, E.J. Eisinger's had his shit postponed for so long. I don't know how it turned out, but it seems like that's almost. I don't know. why, if somebody had something to do, like in that nature, I don't understand why the postponements either, unless maybe their case isn't like strong and they just want to, shake
It's
you up. Or,
prioritization.
I don't
Maybe they
know.
prioritize things, whether it's fair or not, and it's
Yeah, yeah.
at that point, it's one of those things in society that I wonder how have we not stood up and said no? Like in addition to like. It's the same kind of arrogance with like the airlines where they're like, oh, the flight's canceled, but we're not going to compensate or take accountability. Yeah, your case got delayed. We know you had to make incredible sacrifices, take off work or do something, but fuck you.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
When it comes down to business, that'll happen a lot. Anything to do with business, and airlines is a business,
Business and government.
Yeah. And government. Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, anyway. All right. That's sorry to hear this, but I'd rather hear it now than wish I'd known sooner. Later,
Yeah.
Hopefully, we can.
Basically, thanks for including us.
Absolutely.
It's.
I would think the hippie tribe would be able to get you rides to your doctor. There has to be someone in the hippie tribe in your area.
But you know what? Hippie tribe disowned me because of Gary Bozzini.
Really?
Oh,
Him and EJ had a big fallout, and he had to leave, never come back.
How is the hippie? Okay, I don't even know anything about the hippie tribe, but I can gather they're a cannabis enthusiast group amongst other things. And I'll tell you one thing: it's really it shows really bad on a cannabis group when someone like you, if anyone's excluded or disowned from there, it shows really bad on that group because it shows that they can't keep a vibe that someone like you is shown in such a bad that's disgusting.
Yeah. The only thing I know they did when I had my cancer, they did the little drive to help me pay for it. And but that's it. Then after that is when EJ told me get out. So
well, that wouldn't be where we'd
nobody.
That wouldn't be where we'd be going for a lawyer anyway. So those two things,
no.
They should be mutually exclusive and not really compounding anything here. This needs to be you need to talk to a lawyer, and actually the first time you talk to a lawyer about it, who would be doing it upon request from somebody, I would hope, and that's the only thing I can do to help. But that maybe he can, when you do, he can kind of let you know some certain things from his point of view, which will help you express what you're saying to other people, if you follow me through that lens, and make communication, because it doesn't add up. And how many times I've said that with legal stuff. I mean, hey, look, I'm the guy that says I can't believe somebody has ever once been in court as a witness and been asked to put your hand on a Bible and swear that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And I'm still waiting for when somebody says, yes, I will tell the truth and nothing but the truth, but I can't tell the whole truth. You're not allowing me to, because well, I mean, when I'm at a trial in 2008, for medical cannabis patient who's an MS patient, John Wilson, and he wasn't allowed. It was 17 plants, and he wasn't allowed. The jury wasn't allowed to know he was sick, that he had MS, that he used marijuana as medicine. They weren't allowed to know any of that. So they pretty well take that case out because we didn't have law yet. It turns out that, of course, the jury did find out, and you could tell because you could hear them arguing in the deliberation room where one says, "Come on, he's sick." Is it? But anyway, when you start out at a disadvantage like that, because it would taint the jury. I'm really I have no respect at all for a system that, well, when I was in the system, and the only witness to was my wife in Washington, where well, we blocked a congressman's doorway, and the issue was about medical cannabis, and she was sick, and she wasn't allowed in the courtroom because she would taint, and she was my only witness. But other than being a witness, she wasn't allowed in the courtroom because she would taint the jury, and that's sort of like when you start with that, and then everything you say sounds just as questionable. Not everything, but so many components are equally questionable, so it's sort of like totally believable that this is happening. But
And I actually got diagnosed with terminal cancer. So I need the medicine.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like to me, blood is medicine. Nothing more, nothing less.
Amen.
And when I have it, I have no pain. I feel good about myself. I haven't had shit since November because everybody's afraid to get me anything because they raided my house. They guess they think I'm a big snitch or something. I don't know. I don't know why.
Where are you located, dude?
In Millville right now.
Where's that's South Jersey, right?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Out of line.
for reference, because if I'm relating this to somebody, and I would imagine they would might say something like, "What stage cancer?" Not beyond any particulars that would reveal medical details of any kind, and that doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, well, that's not late enough stage. Terminal cancer is terminal cancer, and
Right.
and
I mean, I had to come back 3 times
yeah.
in the same spot.
And I apologize if I sound. I detach myself from trying to feel anything when I need to ask questions in a conversation like this at this point. It's more about, I need to have the understanding to pass it on to somebody, and see if we can get you talking to somebody that could be of more help. And then, as always, what we can do, though, is show up on court days if it gets down to that, or if there needs to be something a little more visible somewhere. But,
Right.
when was the last contact you had with anybody in the system there while they're delaying proceedings?
Well, last time I went to court,
No, the last time any contact, like notices or, they can just let it sit forever. It seems sometimes,
it was like I think I went to court. I'm not sure. I think it was the end of February,
Okay.
and that's when it was. I went in. Wait a minute. I went in February, and then I went in the middle of March, and both of them were postponed.
And
One was what they call PIC, pre-indictment conference,
yeah. Okay.
and that was postponed.
So what
Well, I could.
where is what county were you saying it was? I know it was way South Jersey. Cumberland, did you say?
Cumberland County.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the courthouse in Cumberland County? What town is the courthouse in?
Bridgeton,
Okay.
New Jersey.
Okay.
You can't get no weed there. They banned medical cannabis dispensaries in Bridgeton. They're in our song. That's how I know.
I knew how you know. You can't get no weed here.
Yeah, they banned it in Bridgeton. Unless they changed it, they opted out a couple of years ago because they don't want no weed.
Well, that's fine, but I'm from Vineland, where there are dispensaries.
Yeah.
So I don't understand it. I think I bought from a dispensary like maybe 10 times. Yeah, I just don't like it. Too much money.
There's weed on the street for $100 an ounce, I hear.
That's what I hear.
We're on the street, huh?
Streets
You
of
know,
talk.
The street.
you know, you know, on a little sidebar, but it's not that far to the side. You know, when you back in the day, which wasn't that long ago, we're doing the podcasts in Trenton. Every 420, there'd be a march down State Street, and the state police would allow everybody to be across the
Right.
street at the War Memorial statue area there. And about 20 minutes, half hour, everybody could smoke and nothing would be done. And I had to arrange that one year. So I was like the go between the state police and everybody there, only because they said, "You think we should do this, or you should let them know?" Yeah, I'll let them know. So when I went over and joined everybody, I was talking to them. I said, "I'm the Riverside Street guys. I belong over there." But first thing happened when I got over there, somebody dropped like about 3/4 of a joint. It was on the street, State Street.
Oh, wow.
So I walked over there and I picked it up and looked around at the 4 state troopers there and I went, "Hey, look, got it from the street. It's got street weed." It was literally. Oh, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
I got to take time out to smile in the midst unsmiling type conversations now and then, but nature of the beast.
Well, let's try this. Ron, the first time you smoked weed,
Yeah.
how old were you, and what was your experience like?
The first time was I think I was 13, and I was over at a friend's house, and I had to walk home at nighttime through the woods. That was an experience. I probably fell 20 times. Yeah, but I just loved it so much that I never stopped. Yeah, the feeling I get from weed is happiness, pain free. You know, I just want to say hi to everybody or give everybody a hug. You know, it's but I don't know.
But I'm rooting for you. You're gonna, I'm pushing for you to get through this, and you're a strong dude, and you know, you got to value being a good person like you are, and you're gonna make it through this. You were gonna do everything we can to look into options within our reach, and we're rooting for you, dude.
Now, if I find out I got a new court date, should I let you know?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Anything else at all that comes up, yeah, you just make sure Lefty, you just email him, call, whatever. He can keep us all involved. But yeah, it's best to anything at all, you know. So we kind of have it on our radar, and you know, maybe we get lucky. We'll see.
Right. No, I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
I'm between a rock and a hard place. It's terrible.
Ron, what's your favorite munchy food?
Pizza.
See, Lefty doesn't like me to say everybody gets these questions who's on the podcast. He said, "Why you got to tell people that?" Well, because we're not singling you out, just wondering what your freaking munchy food favorites is. Everybody gets it. And the thing is, after many guests, it's really interesting, you know, because there's always some answers that surprise you and some that, yeah, man, me too, you know. So anyway, yeah. But he's relentless. So if you have something that's your go-to thing,
Yeah, what's your go-to?
I'd advise you tell him.
My go-to is soft pretzels or pizza.
Nice.
There you go.
Soft hot pretzel with mustard.
Yeah. Both good choices in my estimation.
They're my favorite.
Now I'm starving.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody's hungry.
Got us all hungry here.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I got to start to trade that answer for pretty much anything the Garnet Grill has going on. Everything in that damn place has been my favorite food since I.
I know. It's amazing.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, we're having early dinner one night this week on takeout.
When I was doing this work for Gary Bozzini, Sky High Munchies on the road. When it became legal, I'm 68 years old. I don't really know too much about it, and I didn't know what can be done, what can't be. And Gary kept saying to me, "Don't worry about it. It's a gray area." That's all I ever heard.
Who was saying
But I
that?
don't know.
Who was saying?
Huh? Who was that? Gary.
Yeah,
Gary Bozzini.
you're breaking up, or I'm breaking up. Gary, somebody. Yes.
Gary.
Help me out, Lefty.
Gary Bozzini.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Gary Bozzini.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
He
familiar.
has Sky High Munchies. He still does, from my but yeah, he's the one who kept telling me, "Don't worry about it. It's a gray area. Yeah, nothing they could do about it." Blah blah blah. And I was making deliveries for him, but I didn't know. I didn't know what was legal, what you can do, what you can't do. So yeah.
Well, he is. It is gray. It is a gray area. All of it seems to be gray. I mean, Lefty's all about the ignorance is no excuse thing, going to police stations for years, trying to make sure everybody is on the same page about what is and isn't. And that was with an active effort. Still, people didn't know what is and isn't legal. I mean, I'm talking about police, not just regular people.
Yeah, right. Yes.
So it is kind of a gray area. And, it may end up being that it's gray enough where they go this far, and maybe if it stays gray and they end up with your truck or something, shit, I don't know what they're hoping, but generally they assume there's going to be no pushback, which occasionally, when they extend themselves too far, that there will be. But I try to look at it from the other point of view, only much to try to really understand. And it so rarely it makes sense. It's just, it never did before, but when it's transitioned into being legal, there's just gray areas everywhere, I mean, where can you smoke? Where can't you smoke? Where can you smoke in public? Well, where can't you? What happens? What's the penalty? I mean,
it makes no sense.
Yeah, it's hypocrisy, and they don't. They know these things are going to happen ahead of time. These misunderstandings and things like that, but they bank on it. And it's really crazy because you hear now the phrase "flood the zone" a lot. They've been doing everyone's been doing that. That right there is flooding the zone. It's literally just we're going to put this stuff out. We're not going to specify on it. And we're going to do this over and over again. And people are not going to be able to keep up. People are not going to call us out for everything because people are lazy.
Yeah, well, that happened a lot way long ago when medical first was legal, because they would, we'll just take it and we can work that out in court. No, and that, people really couldn't always do it. And what about Michelle Burns, Lefty? How long did she have to go to police station until they finally gave her back what was hers? Yeah, throw it, see what sticks. That's all. And that's a bad way for not just to do business. It's a bad way for any organization or any entity to
operate.
Operate. That's a good word. That's the one. That's
next door. Next door. Yes, next door.
Let them come in. Let them come in. All around. Let them walk around.
No, let them walk around. That's fun.
I don't want to get grabbed.
It's fun.
Well, put a donation. Please put a
fun.
Make it comfortable.
That's uncomfortable.
Put a donation jar up. You put a donation jar out there in case somebody does walk in. You never know.
Ron, you have to understand something, Ron. You have to explain something here. Ron,
yeah.
the building we're in right now used to be an adult bookstore.
With a spank room in the back.
They had a room in the back with booths
Wait a minute.
where
Are
people
you
would
guys
go.
sitting in the spank room?
The floor is softer in the spank room than it is in the regular
Oh
room.
man! And these guys look for a reason. Yeah,
It's
they look. They look
It's
for
really
a reason to talk
horrible.
about it. Yeah, well, but you guys look.
And for anyone listening to this later, I'm not
Oh,
saying this is deplorable. I'm saying the state previous by the owners is deplorable to have a point where the floors are soft. Like it's medical draping and flooring, and it's just I want a gastric.
On Thursday, we're going to do a black light. We're going to go into Boots with a black light.
Not a hazmat visit or anything.
See that? But see, you guys. Whoa! See, you extend it. You say, but, and then you do whatever you can to extend the conversation on a cannabis podcast about that. And I'm always the guy taking my headphones off. I'm laughing at it. I'm not a freaking prude. It's just like, Christ, guys, I've spent 50 years trying to undo reputations about cannabis consumers. You guys undo a lot of my work.
But let me understand. I have to give you context of what used to happen here. So now what
No,
happened?
you don't.
Understand,
Yes, he
because
does.
people keep walking in here. People keep walking in, and so he just addressed somebody walking in here.
Yeah, Jim, you deal with the perverts and then tell us we don't have to address it. For our own psyche, we have to literally tell people.
No, you gotta like bite the bullet there. You make jokes
we
about
don't
that.
have to, I will not
Yeah,
bite the bullet with these people. Absolutely
No.
not. No way.
Well, then
No
don't
way.
do
They
it.
should
Okay,
have
how
gotten
about,
they're
how about
choosing
this?
to stay ignorant against the
No.
message of this
Let me-
podcast.
Don't do the podcast from there then. You don't go, oh
That's
my
his
God,
choice.
we're here. This
can
is how we
smoke
have to be. No,
can
at
smoke
some
weed here.
point, you're your own victim.
All right, lock the door. Lock the door.
If you know what, if anything, lefty's their own victim here because they're the one who insists they need to smoke weed while doing the cast.
No, lock the door. I want to smoke weed in here, and I want to feel safe. So lock the door. That's it. We're locking the
You know
door.
something? I think if everybody smoked weed,
You know what? No, you know what we should
we
do
wouldn't have any problems.
when people walk in during
Wait, go ahead, Ron. What's
I think if everybody smoked weed, we wouldn't have any problems.
I'd still have a problem. You're that like they're just There's a lot of greasy
No,
people. Just
I mean, personality-wise,
I
and
don't know.
some people, most people I know are very happy when they smoke weed.
yes?
Yeah, and I want to
Absolutely.
bet they'd probably be handsy too. The people that walk in here, you know. And I don't like to have to set boundaries when I'm smoking weed, but it's not fun. It's not fun. And at the end of the day, though, Jim, really Lefty's his own victim. You know, like he purposely puts himself out here, and then acknowledges them, or no, doesn't even acknowledge them. Says, "Let them walk in. Let them walk
Let
about."
him walk in. Let him
Yeah.
Dude,
whatever.
dirty.
let him wonder what's happening. Because then they'll come over like, "What's going on here?" I'm like, "Oh, hey, how are you?"
I think we should
But you're
just yell at them, "Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out!" Go back to what we're doing.
Get out!
Get out!
Get out!
See, I'm looking.
Let's
at
do
the-
that too.
Yeah, no, just get out! Get out!
Let's do that.
Okay,
Go ahead,
listen.
Jim.
Oh my God! I hope someone walks in now.
Jim, you're muted, Jim. I can't hear you.
Jim, you're muted.
Jim,
Jim, I can't hear you.
Oh, now
No,
you aren't. No.
Here's-
No, I wasn't.
here's Jim.
Okay,
I
now you're
wasn't-
not muted, but no sounds coming
It's Jim Miller. Jim Miller's on the line with us also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ron's on the phone.
Yeah.
Jim's on the StreamYard.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, it's better that you didn't hear me before then.
Good.
Oh, good.
So
It's a cannabis podcast that drifts off the rails.
every
Really,
name me a
dramatic.
podcast that doesn't drift off the rails. There's every podcast in the universe goes off the rails for like 15 minutes, and then, like we do, we get back on track. That's what a podcast is.
No, not for 15 minutes. It's 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there.
Okay, you want to do it that way? Go listen to NPR. Like that's the only
No.
podcast I know with enough discipline to go
No.
on one subject. We're going to talk today about the fine notes of the oak tree.
I'm going to go to sleep.
Well,
I'm
if
going
it's
to
not
around it in the
okay,
bathtub.
for real, if it's not about medical cannabis, at least half the time I don't belong in this podcast. So don't think I wouldn't go somewhere else rather than here to be spending this time. I like spending time here because it's almost like being in a room together because we can all see each other, But really, at times, I mean, I shouldn't be thinking I got better things to do than this. Really? That shouldn't be in my
What a thing to say.
Why? Hey, listen, I'm not a bobbing head doll. Anybody will tell you that. I'm gonna be honest about things. That's all I'm doing right now.
No, we had to address the interruption, and if we have future interruptions, that's what's happening.
I don't think I don't think anyone would have rather us just go with the method we say where you just scream at them and then don't address it. Just don't worry about it. Don't worry.
But listen, but addressing it shouldn't become the distraction itself. The addressing it becomes a way longer distraction to the viewers. Which
Jim, in this case, if we don't address it, then it becomes a distraction because they come over and they're like, "Hey,
okay, listen, you're going to let me finish. You're going to let me finish. Okay, listen, I got other things to do. If I can't finish what I'm saying, I got to do other stuff. I really do. I'm gonna go do it now, and I'm not mad. It's just that I do have better things to do, and this took me from it. And you didn't let me finish again, and I'm the one that interrupts. I've been rightfully accused of that my whole life, but I have other stuff to do. I'm behind, and it is about medical cannabis, and right now actually dealing with a couple of cool things.
Radical. I don't know what to say. We're doing this. We're not attacking anyone. We're having a conversation.
No, but we're not having the conversation I'm here to have. And I'm saying, well, it's I'm here to have. It's a medical cannabis thing. And I understand when somebody walks in your situation, I get it from your end, but I'm telling you what it's like from my end. I mean, and I'm part of it. It's as if I'm there, but I'm looking at it now. And if I tuned in, I tune out that quick, unless I was enjoying it. I mean, it's kind of fun on a different merit.
Well, we could have addressed it and moved on. That's what we should do. We should have addressed it and then just move on. But we're kind of.
I'm trying to lift this guy's spirit up.
Because I think Ron was laughing. I think Ron actually thought that was funny.
Yeah, we're trying to Lefty start with the question. We're trying to lift this guy's this guy's been through some shit. The least we can do during this time is bring some laughs and have some fun. We're not trying to just forget about causes and things like that.
But let's get back to Ron. So, Ron, I have another question for you.
Sir.
If someone's down on their luck, someone's sad or depressed or upset, and what's something you would say to cheer them up? Like, do you have a life lesson or a quote or something that's got you through a tough time that you could say to somebody else?
My only thing that I say to myself is, spark it up.
Spark it up.
It's all. That's what I say to myself.
Simple. Love
Yeah,
it.
this is true.
Don't worry, just spark it up.
All becomes clear afterwards.
Absolutely.
Love it.
That's what we fight for. We're here because we want home grow. The sign behind us, it says home grow right between us, the whole podcast, and that's what this podcast is about. 75% of the time, I think. Maybe not today.
Right.
I'd argue 80.
Maybe 80. So, but we want home grow. There's only one person holding up home grow in New Jersey. And if you can win this answer, if you know the answer to this, I will give you a gently used pre-roll.
Stop you saying it like that. That's so disgusting.
Gently used.
Disgusting.
Pre-roll. If you could tell me who's holding up home grow in New Jersey, who's the one person?
Say that again?
Who is the one person holding up home grow in New Jersey right now? One person.
Lefty Grimes?
No. Yeah, I get to keep my pre-roll.
You're better off.
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
Gently used pre-roll.
You didn't want that pre-roll anyway. It was gently used.
Yeah, stop. I'm gonna have a throw-up fest. That's just I can't. I can only picture what a gently used pre-roll is. It's just you take it out of the tube and you go.
It's a little sucked on.
And that stop.
It's a little sucked on.
I beat you to it.
Oh my God.
God.
Gotta love it.
You got, and you know what? I will also just note, dude, that I so much admire your energy and with all you're dealing with right now. It's a note that I need to take myself. It's
I mean, you can't dwell on things, especially like with my cancer and all. I don't want to deal with shit like that. That's why I'm always try to be calm. And
you're an icon for perseverance, dude, and I applaud you. Clearly,
Yeah, I tell you, I don't want to think about my back pain. The more I think about it, the more it hurts. I want to think about other things, distract my mind, using cannabis to do, get my mind off it.
I don't want to think about my memory
absolutely.
issues.
That's why. It helps me. So,
were you in Vietnam?
And no.
What branch of the military did you serve in?
Well, I was mostly stateside, but I was in Grenada for 2 years for policing, like keeping the peace.
That's incredible.
I remember that.
It was like insane.
And how long did you serve for?
But me, 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Decade of your life.
From 79 to 88. 9 years.
That's crazy. Where did your travels take you roughly?
What do you mean? I go to Fort Drum, New York.
Oh, right. You said you were
Fort Benning, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Different places we should go. And we go up to Fort Drum, New York.
Do you have
New York for trainings?
Do you have a quick story from your time in the service that you find comical, or maybe was a point for you in your life you'd like to share?
My best times I ever had was summer camp, which we should go 2 weeks to Fort Drum, New York, for special training, and it was a big drinking session. So, like when we were out in the woods or whatever, we would go get a couple cases of beer and sit down and drink. And two guys that I had with me, they're sleeping under the trucks because we didn't have a tent. So the one guy's girlfriend brought nice lawn chairs for us to sit in and relax. Well, these two guys got drunk, got in an argument, and tore the chairs up. Then got a knife and took their sleeping bags. The place looked like a war zone. And then me and my buddy were driving. I did ammo transport, and we were transporting. It's called, I don't know if you ever heard. It's called Willie Pete. It's the rounds they use in mortar. You drop it in and it shoots. So if it lays down, it ignites itself. So you always gotta keep it standing up. So me and my buddy were driving in the truck, and we had our steel helmet on the mirror with some ice and one beer. So this colonel, full-bore colonel, drove up to me and said to me, "Soldier, you better get that the ammo up to the range right away. Right, come on, step on it." I said, "With all due respect to your rank, sir, fuck you. You drive this bitch if you think you can get there any faster." I mean, there's just so many things that we had so much fun. It was like, and then when here, a wild thing was, I met a guy when I was in the service. He was in my same group. I've known him for 40 some years now. I was in the service with him and didn't know he lived only a block away from me. ever since his death, since '79.
Sorry. Yeah, I was you were cutting in and out there. I was trying to see when you were done. Now, I the thing that stuck out to me the most about that was the you standing up to your superior officer, because anytime I've heard any story of someone serving or anyone, police or whatever, that it takes balls to stand up to your manager, your boss, or anyone. It takes real guts and balls to stand up to your superior officer like that.
Well, I wasn't going to get blown up for nobody.
Yeah, and you know, I imagine it feels great when they're not like aggro back at you for when you know that you're in the right and recognize that you're in the right.
When I said that to him, he said, "Well, what do you got in the back of your truck?" I said, "Willie Keats." Man, he took off.
So, and you know that, you know, pick your battles or whatever it was, but at the end of the day, you won that one. That's really cool to hear. That's really cool to hear. I love that. And I know so many. I've heard so many people that, you know, go out of the service and, you know, don't have anything positive to say at all.
Do you ever smoke weed in the service?
Oh my God.
Yes. I got fucked. You didn't get that place. I got fucking caught. We were graduating out of basic training, and it was our last night.
Oh no.
We were graduating the next morning.
Oh boy.
So my girlfriend brought me up an eighth of weed and some papers. She fucking brought me strawberry papers. Now I'm standing on the front of the barracks. It's windy as shit. Me and my buddies were smoking, and I took a big hit off it. I went to turn around, exhale, and I exhaled in the drill sergeant's face.
Oh no.
So I had to do 30 days extra time. And you know what I had to do? I had to take a spoon and shovel the arms room parking lot from the snow with a tablespoon.
One of my
You blew it in his face?
Yeah, one of my
I didn't realize it.
One of my most distinct memories of when my brother enlisted in the Marines was when he came home from camp. And my brother, before that, you know, he was in a fraternity. He was always someone, you know, a ladies' man and things like that. And it's very telling because he got home and I said, you know, you need to go out with your friends, go out and party, celebrate. And he went on this whole thing. It was very telling to me about like, oh, you know, I go out, one girl says this thing, and then I could tell just how aware he was and how careful he was being right off the bat, with just like how much they drilled it into him about, if you fuck up, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Oh my God! It's everyone. Every service member has got an interesting story. That's one of the my favorite things about working in the industry is hearing incidental stories about people's time in the service.
Yeah, I mean, we had so many things. We had what's it called? A gopher. we had these things set up on our camp, like food and stuff on top of rocks. Fucking raccoon it was, came and took all the fucking food.
Oof.
And ran in the woods. And we told them Rocky Raccoon.
Rocket raccoons?
Yeah.
Said?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But
we had so much fun.
My dad.
If I could do it again, I would.
That's even better to hear. That's even cooler to hear.
That's a great attitude.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. That's really cool.
It's true. I mean, I had such. You know what? The best. I love my country, and if I have to defend it right now at my age, I'm ready.
Kick ass.
Absolutely. We're supposed to be the superpower. Let's do it. Let's do this right.
Absolutely. You got the spirit for it, dude. You got the heart and the spirit for it, and I can't stop applauding you for it. Remember the kids, aka Brett?
Yeah, Angry Wise Old Lady was in the service, and she was in Germany. She said they smoked pot all over the place.
Taiwan, Beijing.
Fort Benning.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of weed smoking.
Wow. Very cool.
And you know what? What I'm not when it was illegal, I didn't have this many problems. It becomes legal, and they come raid my house and take my truck, and it's a fucking it's like
When
crazy.
corporations get involved, that's when the helicoptering starts like that, unfortunately.
Yes, it's terrible.
But
Our government's really stupid. They're gonna. We have a government that's gonna fine homeless people $2,000 for sleeping on the streets.
we also have a government that's
yeah,
sending
yeah.
tariffs over to places that are populated by penguins.
Yeah. So I mean, our
Yeah.
government's really stupid.
Yeah, they are.
I'll say this though, because I what stuck out to me before is you said, obviously you love your country. I love my country.
Absolutely.
I do not, and I would love to be able to, not that I would have a lot of significant meeting, but I would just love the opportunity as a citizen to be able to talk to some of these foreign leaders and say, listen, this is terrible leadership we're dealing with right now. And yes, some scared people put these people in the power. I still love this country. I still know that. And in my heart, I have confidence that the servicemen and women, if it came down to it, they'd say no when the time came. I have faith. That's the more important thing.
Me too. I definitely have faith. I love my country, but I hate our government. It's
It's the structure. It's a lot of old world things that people haven't addressed. I guess in a way, sometimes throughout the life with all the issues and things we have to do inadvertently. I mean, these are so many of these things could have been addressed long ago and codified into law, and either compromised by businesses getting involved and putting their hand in it or whatever have it be. But
right.
I'll tell you right now, the one thing you're not hearing from are businesses or the people that matter in business. That's a sad state, but we just have to. We have to, I'm sure you believe in. We have to keep being what we want to see in the world.
Absolutely.
But
no question.
In Summit, New Jersey, violators for sleeping in camping in public areas, alleyways, parks, bus shelters, athletic courts, and benches could face a fine up to $2,000 and/or imprisonment for 90 days.
So they're saying, okay, if you don't have a home, then we're going to tax you with something you're never going to pay and house you for a bit.
Summit. So camp out in front of the jail. Make it easy. Just camp out in front of the jail. Then you get 3 hots in the cot. 3 hots in the cot for 90 days.
No, don't do it near the jail. that saves them a trip. Do it far away from the jail, so they have to actually go through the work to bring you to home.
Be lay down where the border is of the state, and tell them to come get you.
I'm not sleeping over here.
I'm not sleeping. All
right, guys, I have to head out for the day. My friend, it's been excellent talking to you, dude, and
thank you.
I'm rooting for you. Lefty's going to pass on my email and my Instagram handle to you when you talk to him later. And if I can help you with that letter, I will, man.
Oh, let me get this right here. Okay, I got this right now. I had it wrong. Angry wise old lady is a brat. She's a brat. I'm thinking something else, but no, it's brat. So I must be thinking the wax.
That's a female.
Yeah, no, this is a brat, which are children born into the army.
Yeah, like a daughter.
Yeah, so she didn't serve. She was actually her father did, and she was in the.
She did in spirit.
She served in spirit. And did I get Did I get the job? Yes, I did. And Sam Joshi is the mayor of Edison, New Jersey, and we're going to go visit him next week, I believe. Yes, Monday.
Doesn't he have complications going on right now?
He's got a lot of issues in his world right now. Well, Ron, thank you so much, man. Really, it's been great talking to you. Do you have anything you want to promote, or just reach out to you to get you rides? I mean, you need a ride to the doctor, so if you can give Ron a ride to the doctor, you're down in South Jersey, hit me up, and we'll connect you. At least we can get you some rides.
I can really use it. I don't think my cancer is getting worse.
Well, as long as we have your contact, and By contact, what would it be like email? In other words, first thing will happen if I talk to somebody is they'll ask me a question I don't know the answer to, in which case I would relay it to you. I would assume you would have an email. Yes.
Email?
Yeah. I mean, you could make sure
You're-
Lefty has
again.
yeah.
You need my email? Is it?
Well, yeah. I mean, if Lefty had it to give to me, I could. You don't have to give it out like right here. I'm pot4ms@yahoo.com, and I say that because a person shouldn't need. It's like a license plate. pot4ms@yahoo. And mostly I use the Yahoo so people remember what it's at. But yeah, if trying to relay this to somebody, they're going to ask some simple questions that I didn't think to ask, and have to have a way to relay, to keep a conversation going with somebody, which is kind of the only thing we can help do right now. So we need to be able to, as opposed to just calling up and talking is okay too. It's I just know I'm going to have questions too. I mean, hopefully, but I'll paraphrase what's going on at a coalition for medical marijuana meeting. That's another 501c3 I will be meeting with tonight, and they'll have questions, and I'll make sure I have a pen and paper handy. So hopefully we get back to you real soon with something good. Yeah, you never know.
I have the paperwork. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4 pages on my phone of the when they raided the house, the summons. Do you want me to send it to you?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
You look at it. Now the one with the truck. I just got the whole thing. I don't have pictures of it or anything.
When was this?
Of what?
When did this happen?
November 1st.
November 1st. Do you have body cam from the police?
Well, I have no, I don't.
You can Oprah
I don't know
request
what
that. Yeah, we can Oprah request that.
Yeah, they actually wouldn't let me in the room. They had me sitting outside, and this is what gets me. Okay, it was a raid for the whole house. The whole house. Why am I the only one that got arrested? When everybody knew I was making honey, and the person that lives there on the other side is the CO for the prisons. So his stepson, they raided the bedroom and found a high-powered magazine, live ammo, and they asked him where he got it, and he said, "Oh, a friend of mine was in the Army, and when he came back from somewhere, he gave it to me as a souvenir." Well, that's fucking federal. That's you can't do nothing like that. You can't give somebody ammo from the Army. And I asked about it, and it got swept under the rug. But everybody, I'm the only one that got arrested. It fascinates me.
Wow.
Like the warrant didn't say it's for Ron Grandy. It said the whole house. So I only lived in a little section of the house. In a little, it used to be a daycare. They turned it into a room. That's where I stayed. So the whole other side of the house, I don't know what goes on over there. So for them to raid the whole house, and I'm the only one that got arrested, something don't sound right there. Terrible.
And well, Ron, stick around. We're going to do our list. We have a list that we go through. It's all our friends and family that didn't make it for medical cannabis here in New Jersey. But first, I want to thank Mad
Okay.
Hatter. Thank you, Mad Hatter, for having us. This is we're at the Tea House Club, THC, the Tea House Club. And we're going to have all kinds of events here. We're going to have a Sunday service here. I think we're going to have Sunday church service because you already got the crosses all over the wall here. You can't really see them, but there's literally crosses on the wall everywhere. So we already,
And if you need something, I'm an ordained minister too.
really,
Yes.
you want to drive up to Woodbridge on a Sunday morning and say a few words?
Like how vehicles.
Yeah, we got to get you a ride up here.
Yeah, I'll come up and talk. Absolutely.
If not, we're going to probably stream it or something because we might do that. If there's enough interest, we're gonna do Sunday service here, which would be a real turnaround for what this. I'm sure the town will be happy to see the Sunday service.
Now, is it a cannabis service?
Yeah, cannabis
Or
friendly, non-denominational.
Like the place I have in Colorado. You ever see that place?
Where is that?
Colorado.
Oh yeah,
They-
yeah.
They got a big church. It's a cannabis church.
Oh yeah.
It's called. Oh shit, I forget the name of it now. But yeah, it's all they do. They actually worship the marijuana plant.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, no, we're not going to worship the plant. We're going to worship God,
No.
but using cannabis.
Yeah, I know.
I've seen some of those guys, and they do worship cannabis. It's like the whole thing they're worshiping
Yeah.
cannabis. And no,
Right.
we're going to actually worship God and that stuff.
Yeah,
We're
absolutely.
going to be legit, man. But cannabis friendly. Cannabis friendly. I mean, because when I go to church, I smoke a lot of weed out in the parking lot. So
Yeah,
it'd be
before you
nice
go
to
in.
come here. Yeah, man.
Now, do you usually ask them for an extra wafer?
Extra infused wafers.
Hey, ooh,
I like that idea.
that could be a nice Sunday service.
We could dip the wafers in your honey.
There you go. Absolutely.
Whoop, whoop.
And everybody's singing. They said to me, this honey is awful strong. I said, of course it is. It's for me. That's the way I like it. And that helps me the most. And if I give somebody some, it's the same honey. Just put in a little jar for them. Yeah. And I don't know. They said it's too strong. They said they tested it.
8 ounces. It's ridiculous.
And when they raided the house, this is what they found. They found my container of sugar. I had 2 jars of honey. One was blueberry honey, and one was like wildflower or something. And they asked me, why don't I put it together? I said, you can't put blueberry honey with flavor honey. The taste will be horrible. So they just said and they found some things that I bought at shows, like an RSO syringe, cannabis oil, shit like that, that I bought. And the syrups, like looks like a cough syrup. I had a couple of them. But these are all things for me that help me, not that would help somebody else. But I do give it to people. So, but I'm not charging anybody. That's the problem. I don't know where all my money is.
This is a damn shame that that what patients go through, what patients are doing in New Jersey. Here you go. You want to know what patients are going through in New Jersey? There you go, right here. What does Ron have to go without to get his medicine?
Everything.
His car, his life.
Yes. And in order for me to go anywhere, I have to use Uber or Lyft or something expensive. It costs me $40 to go to my doctor's and back, and it's only like 2 miles away. I'm like, man, how can you afford something like that? I can't.
It's not sustainable.
It's like, I don't know why they just don't give us, let us do it. Just do what we're supposed to do. If we want to smoke it, do it and smoke it. But
One friend of mine had to go back on opiates because she couldn't afford to stay in the program and buy her medical cannabis. So she had to go back on opiates because it was cheaper because it only cost her a couple of dollars a month.
okay, now I can do the same thing, but I don't want to. I don't want to be dependent on opiates. I'm sorry, and that's what the cops want. They don't want you to smoke weed. They rather you be all fucked up on opiates so they can put you in jail. That's the way I look at it. Mm.
You can use religious exemption for any negative ordinance or law. You go online. You can get fundraiser without needing to pay taxes or file. It's a 501c4 religious exemption. Yes, this angry wise old lady. She's angry, she's wise, and she's old. She's a lady. She's a lady.
I can relate. I'm pretty old, and
You're angry, wise old man.
I'm angry a bit, and as far as cannabis advocacy for well over 3 decades, medical advocacy for well over 3 decades. I guess I got some degree of wisdom there, although most people don't seem to recognize it.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I just sent that stuff to you, Ed.
Cool. Thank you.
The papers.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well,
it's.
Yeah, I do have to. I gotta get cooking too, because I gotta do a couple things for it at 7:00 Zoom meeting. 2 meetings today. Isn't that great? So I'll stay with you another 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit that meeting.
5 minutes. 5 minutes, but I gotta run after that.
So thank you, Mad Hatter, for having us here. One of the bosses is right here. I'm not kissing up to the boss. I said this anyway. I would say this whether you were here or not. We love you, sir. We love Jimmy. We love Rob. And we love Mad Hatter. They're awesome. And come on by Mad Hatter. We just smoked. Hey, I just told you how good the purple tie is. Sativa from the Botanist pre-roll. So there you go. Get some of that. Or you can try the high grass. High grass is always good. We got that here. We tried those before. Amazing. So thank you, Mad Hatter. Thank you, CMMNJ, UFCW, Arlo Glass, OprahMachine.com, and SativaCross.org, where you can donate $1 or $100. Our list begins with Cheryl Miller, and Cheryl Miller is Jim's late wife. And Jim and Cheryl really got me into activism after I saw what Cheryl went through with multiple sclerosis. I thought that cannabis just gave you the munchies, and that's why cancer patients used it. But then I saw Cheryl and how Jim would exercise Cheryl, but he'd have to give her cannabis first, because before she took her cannabis, she was rigid. She couldn't move her arms.
Yes, that's how I am.
Yes, she couldn't move. And then he would give her the cannabis, and she could exercise her and move her arms. And it was, needed. It was absolutely 100% needed for the multiple sclerosis.
And I'm a big advocate for RSO. I swear by it.
Yeah, RSO. I have some at home. I should take it at night, and I sometimes do.
I do every night when I have it. I haven't had it in like 4 months now. I just put a little bit under my tongue at nighttime, and it's a beautiful thing.
With age comes wisdom. Wisdom makes one aware. One aware should be angry. That's why she's the angry wise old lady. That's funny. Okay. Cheryl Miller, Sabina Rose, and real quick, let me just tell you, Sabina Rose was a 15-month-old baby. She died from a 25-hour seizure. She had Dravet syndrome, and she was getting her cannabis card in the mail, but it didn't come in time. She ran out of time because the Christie administration made cannabis patients jump through hoops, and Sabina Rose had to go to a psychiatrist at 1 year old. They made Sabina Rose go to a psychiatrist. Now, what's a 1 year old going to tell a psychiatrist?
Nothing.
Not much, right? But it took 4 months of her life to do all that, to find a doctor and to go through all that rigmarole. And the most time that she didn't have, 4 months that she didn't, a quarter of her life that she didn't have to waste.
Yes.
Sad.
Yes, it is. It's, you know, when they finally figured out that marijuana helps people, I guess that's when they started with the medical. I mean, that's what it sounds like to me.
Diane, Gracie, Cindy Mae, Marie, Jack, Joan, Randy, Polly, Bill, Chad, Jeremy, Colette, Matt, Troy, Russ, Roger, Jay, Ella, Hattie, Jackie, Anthony, Jake, Armando, Felicia, Lynn, Dan, Sean, Joyce, Lori, Frank, Brian, Flo, Carl, Thorne, Frank, Lorraine, Terry, Charlotte, Cher, Jaybird, Michael, Marley, Colette, Brendan, Red, Rico, Lou, Becky, Lawanda, Chip, Paul, Lisa, Marcus, Gary, and you might have known Julia. Julia was one of the girls from the hippie tribe. Do you remember Julia?
No, thanks.
Julia T. She hung out with EJ all the time, and
Oh yeah, I know you. Yeah.
yeah, she passed away a few months ago.
Oh, I did hear somebody passed away.
Yeah, that was her. She just passed away, man.
Something, was it from the cancer or
From multiple sclerosis and diabetes.
Oh.
Yeah, she was young, man. I was like,
Yeah. Like they said, a good die young.
man, I tell you.
I'll live forever.
The last name on our list is our friend Jeff Oakes, who was our first president, and he would go to these council meetings all over New Jersey and fight for medical cannabis. And he had stage 4 cancer, and he was doing this, feeling like shit. He'd be out there. One time he had a chemo bag strapped to his hip, and he's out there yelling at the council with a chemo bag on his hip. That's how pissed he was about the government.
I'll bet. Oh my God. Oh boy.
And Jim Tracy. So thank you,
Tracy.
Jim Tracy, Middleton.
You know, the one thing out of everything Jeff did, and I'll point out because it won't take a second, is the town hallish type meeting governor had where people with concerns came and you could write it out on a 3x5 file card, and if his chief of staff or whoever was in charge that night, would choose some and give them to him, and he would then read the card and address the issue. And when she met Jeff, she was so enamored with him that she helped him ask his question, make sure it was phrased in a way that he could then, the governor could address it. But she didn't warn the governor about this at all. She had it as the last question. And it was something to the effect of Jeff saying who he was and that he was terminally ill with cancer. And he's right there. And then the governor had to read, how is it that I can live in a state that will help me die, but not help me live by growing my medicine? Because we have a right to die life in New Jersey. That's recent, in the last 3 or 4 years. And the governor couldn't, he was visibly shaken and couldn't, because there's video. I mean, I wasn't there, but I did see the video. And he said something to the effect of, I can't answer, I don't want to answer this now, or I can't try, I could. However, he did not, there is no answer to that. It's a great rhetorical question. And he took what it took to get out there and be in place, which to me is the simplest of things a person with mobility can do, you know, and yet he just wanted people to take part from the comfort of their own homes. He would be the lead, but the masses did not gather. You know, it did not become a huge freaking issue with people, no matter what Jeff did and what others are doing. So, you know, that's part of the angry old man, Jim here. Yeah, I'm angry that people don't do the simple things, and I get even angrier, not with the people that do it, but let's just say Jeff King, the one I know best, for simply forwarding emails to somebody, just being in touch, not beating the drum at all, and he gets farther than anybody. Yeah, so anyway, Jeff, he was the opposite of that, and had the strength of 10 ordinary men when it came to doing what it took. Law be damned, and everybody else along with it. And yeah, he's kind of one of my heroes, you know. So anyway, yeah.
Heroes.
So anyway, then the last thing of the podcast is the Ode to Remembrance, 1 or 2 stanzas, Lefty's choice. It was written in honor of veterans of World War I from Australia, France, Great Britain, and the United States. It was just to address the fallen in that. And Lefty, at least, Lefty's going back about 10 years now, or 9 years at least. He would read this at the end of every podcast, and we came to know at the end of the year's podcast by a viewer who we knew that the 4th stanza that he would read was literally written in stone over the entrance to the War Memorial Auditorium in Trenton. And we went up and saw it that day, and it was like an awakening of some sorts. You know, what are the coincidence of that, not knowing that and reading it right around the corner. Oh man. But anyway, that Lefty, yeah, there's a stanza before it that addresses, and when he reads it, it's like they fell with their faces to the foe. Oh man, that just really moves me.
Yeah, it goes like this.
I mean, it's symbolic, but it's symbolic in a very real way. You know, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, because it really overlaps with activism when you talk about all our friends like Jeff and stuff.
Yeah, well, you just got to face the issue. You can't stand on the sidelines and be a cheerleader. You can't say, when is it going to happen? People say that, hey, when's it going to happen? It's not going to happen. It has to be made to happen. It has to be led to be happen. Roadblocks have to be removed to make it happen, you know, and basically the people ask, and it's just a bunch of cheerleaders. And, you know, if you bitch about something and you do something about it, you're an advocate or an activist. You bitch about something, you know, you're active. You're nothing more than a bitch. Well, yeah, you're nothing more than a bitch. I mean, people that bitch and don't do anything to even suggest a solution or affect one somebody else has, by definition, if that's all you do is bitch, you are a bitch. There, I said it.
Hey, so Rob, I think we're going to keep this over here. I think this is a good spot. We can put the movies right there. We can show movies over there. You can have more space over there. I think it takes up less space than over there. This looks good. You got this behind you. It works. It works great. It feels centered. Doesn't feel out of place because it's centered here. This looks good, right on the camera. It looks good, Jim.
Yeah, it does. I like it.
That's Rob giving you the finger. That's Rob's middle fingers connecting, touching.
That's very clean.
They're talking. For those who know it, never mind. All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Ron, thank you so much. And this is how we end the show. They went with songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end, against odds uncounted. They fell with their faces to the foe. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old.
Oh,
Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.
over it.